Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hi, it's good to see you again.
You
And I
too.
would like to welcome everyone to Pride in the Living Room, Jewmos edition. So, just a quick reminder, Pride in the Living Room was founded by the Israeli LGBT task force, Agudah, in memory of the 2009 Tel Aviv Gay Center shooting and also the Jerusalem Pride Parade stabbing in 2015. And Aguda put together this event as a platform for LGBT Jews to share their stories, to encourage empathy and community and bringing people together. So, all of that said, it is my pleasure to welcome Mark to the stage, all the way from Israel. And Mark, the floor is yours.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I'm Mark. I am visiting family here in Israel, and Jared got in touch asking if I would like to take part. Of course, I said yes. And All the way from London, and originally from Moscow, and quite a bit international. And What I would like to share, I guess, is I'm 35 and I'm gay and I'm Jewish, and I left home at 15, turning 16, and I went from Moscow to London, and what I now know as I was looking for. At the time, I was just, teenager, wanted to have some fun, which I did. Maybe too much, but I did. And and Now at 35, I actually went back to school last year, and I'm studying. And I was looking for some sort of um, I wanted to know what else is possible for myself in my life. And what I now know is, well, actually anything is possible. And I've also come to a wonderful place in life where I thought that no one accepts me as I am, not just for being gay, not just for being Jewish, but as a person. And I've just come to this place in my studies where I understood that acceptance starts with myself, accepting myself for who I am. So I'm writing a book now called I Am is a Complete Sentence. And It really is a discovery like no other, that I am is a complete sentence. There's nothing that comes after I am, not good, not bad, just I am. And that allows me to really be whole and complete, accept myself just the way I am at any given moment, um, in terms of nationality, skin color, sexual orientation. I'm not religious, but I come from a Jewish family culturally. So that's obviously very present for me. And My parents made Aliyah a few months ago, so I'm here taking care of my mom and dad. And It's just been a really profound journey for a year and 2 months. I thought that I've been chasing some kind of fantasy life for myself, chasing being someone when it's all already here. This is the crazy thing. You chase it, chase it, chase it. And I'm very happy that I got this at 34. And Because, I didn't want to wake up at 85, if I get there, going, you know, oh my God, I wasted my life chasing and I never got there. Well, I'm there. I'm right here where I'm supposed to be. I am exactly who I want to be. And it's just a wonderfully satisfied feeling. Just the satisfaction, there's this joy in life all of a sudden. And nothing has changed. Would you believe? Nothing has changed. And I really enjoy that. I enjoy one of the first things that came up in my studies was, in the first program, my family, because I left it quite young, right? So that's the first thing that came up. I got that for 19 years, up until last year. I've tried to live my life without the two people that gave me life, mom and dad. And there's not been any satisfaction or fulfillment, no joy. And I'm a living proof that life without the two people that gave you life isn't life. It's survival, really. It's existing and surviving at the time of hardship, losing your job, losing your man or woman, whatever, whoever, whatever it may be for an individual. So I spend more time in less than a year with my family than I did prior to that for 19 years. And I went home for Christmas and everything, but it was love by default, family by default. It wasn't really a desire to be with mom and dad like it is now. When mom calls me and says dad had a stroke, and I get on the plane, bring my studies with me because we're on Zoom now. And it's quite wonderful to just make it all happen, really be fulfilled in life. And it's just, I don't really desire much anymore. I don't chase the dream or the fantasy. I enjoy the right now, because I got really tired of thinking about the past and worrying about the future. I really enjoy time right now. And there's nothing better of, we have this mirror exercise where we just, I hate it. You want to lose your weight, then you lose your weight, then there's something wrong with your nose, then you look at your ears, then you look at your eyes, the eyelashes, the eyebrow. The list goes on. Oh, and I'm losing my hair, and I'm so cool about that now. Okay, so that's happening. So what? So life is pretty awesome to just be and not add anything to life happening, because I got that life taking its toll is life, but how I live it is up to me. So every little disappointment, I'm so sick of getting freaked out about it. I think it takes a little bit of health every time. So I'm just really enjoying being with myself for the first time in my life, really be complete. I lost 44 pounds in the past 3.5 months. And then I looked in the mirror and I go, oh, there's something wrong with my nose now. Oh, there's something, I'm just so sick of it. It's just never enough. You get a job, then something goes wrong, colleagues or the boss or the position itself or the money, just constantly looking for what doesn't work, which never allowed me to look at what works, because I was programmed to just complain. So my book, the first chapter, the life chapter, is called Xena the Warrior Princess. And Jared, I think I posted it on Facebook, so I believe you've gone through it. I don't remember when we last spoke. And it's exactly like that. It's Xena the Warrior Princess in life up until the moment of my studies beginning. And, a fictional character in life. I have completely collapsed the world of acting and the real life. And I really enjoy being vulnerable now. I wouldn't even do this before, like to share my story. Now, Jared said, I said, are you going to ask questions? He goes, no, you can just go for it. And I'm like, I'm in. Sharing absolutely anything is pure joy. I know now that everyone has, I'm going to call it that, different context, same crap. Sorry to disappoint you. But it's quite awesome to really take responsibility and admit and accept. I really enjoy it now. In fact, my sister is studying now, my mom as well. I enjoy taking my family on this journey so much, because there's nothing better than just being and really being open.
I want to step in if I can for a second.
Yeah.
So you've spoken a bit about your book, and the title really took me by surprise. I am. I think it's such a beautiful, profound statement where we often try to attach labels onto ourselves, or maybe society tries to tell us who we are or who we should be. And I
Yeah.
think it's really beautiful that you're able to say proudly, I am, full stop. And I was just wondering, because we are here as part of the Pride in the Living Room event, I was wondering if you could tie in the statement I am to your Jewish or your gay identity. How have
Well,
you come to that statement?
Well, that's exactly it. All of these tags. So I used to be the emperor of tagging, not just myself, but others, right? Because you know how it goes. You see someone, and before they even open their mouth, you go, oh gosh, he's so ugly. He's so beautiful. He's gorgeous. Or all of these are tags. Too Jewish, too Muslim, too Christian, or not enough Jewish, not enough. So all of these, that's what I said. Not good, not bad. There is just all of them for me now are tags. And I used to tag others until my teacher said to me something so profound. She said, you know why you judge? I'm like, no, I just do it. What kind of question is that? What, is she stupid? She goes, because you judge yourself. That's why you judge others. And then just like bang happened. And I thought, yeah, I always criticize myself. I wouldn't accept myself. I've been out to my family for 13 years for being gay. And I realized last year the one person that I left behind to come out to and fully accept is myself. Like, would you believe you come out to your Jewish mom? That's like Jewish mom. I'm sure you can relate, you know? And the one person I left behind is myself. There has been no myself for the past, we started 3, so I'm 35, for the past 32 years of my life. Well, 31, because now self comes first. And in a very beautiful, profound way, because I'll share after the book as well something else that I've started. Yeah, that's it. It's that Jewish, also being Jewish is the same thing. That's always been there, but I never agreed, for example, with religious practices of it. And I now know that, you know, by accepting myself, the beautiful thing about it is that I now accept others. So I don't tag anyone, because when I'm whole and complete, everyone else naturally in my mind is whole and complete. So there is no need to, for example, I used to be really turned off by feminine men, like gay guys. And now, genuinely, there is a sense of pride for that human being just the way they are. There is this fulfillment and joy to see this guy dress up the way he dresses up and wear it proudly, because he's a self-expression, right? Last Christmas, I spent the day watching nothing else. Are you ready? RuPaul's Drag Race for the first time in my life. Never in my life. Now, I love it. I watched the entire season 11 in one day. That's how I spent Christmas. And that's just proof of accepting myself, accepting others. And then I discovered these guys are so talented. The costumes, the acting, the singing, the lip syncing. I can't do that. I mean, I tried to pull off Britney in the shower and I always fall. I can't even dance. So there is this whole world of people. I discovered people for the first time in my life, not people as I used to think they are or should be, just discovered people as they are. And all of a sudden, I don't see religion, I don't see sexual orientation, no skin color. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, I genuinely enjoy connection with other people, because behind all this tagging of the sexual orientation, social status, nationality, language, skin color, religion, mentality, culture, whatever, wealth, it's all tagging. Behind all that, just us people. And in fact, I really love that there are different kinds of people. You know, you've got the men, women, you've got gay, lesbian, transgender, bisexual. Sorry, there are a few other letters and I really forget. I apologize, not to offend anyone. But also different skin colors from different parts of the world. And for the first time, this is the I am, you know? that's what I said. It's a complete sentence, and it allows me to be complete with others the same way. I don't really look at it as one of my teachers was a Jamaican man. I've never ever had an interaction like that connection to someone. And all I know of Jamaican men, yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
I know I get carried. Please.
I could listen to you for hours, but I just wanted to ask a question if I could.
Yeah.
So I've spoken to many people about their experiences being LGBTIQ plus and their experiences being Jewish. I've had my own talks with myself, as I'm sure a lot of us do. And something I am learning from you in your story is a sense of emotional maturity, a sense of you've been through a journey, you've been through the darkness, and now you're choosing to embrace the light. And I can see so much light that you carry with you in your life. So I just wanted to ask you, what has led you to this sort of enlightenment in your life recently? And where were you before? What was that change?
Great question. It's all in my first chapter. I will post it, repost it. I had guts. So recently what happened, very recently, I chatted to this guy. That was like literally weeks ago. I chatted to this guy. Upon arrival in Tel Aviv, I was put in what I call the quarantine prison, the 5-star hotel on the beach. Fantastic, but you can't leave the room for 2 weeks. So you see all this hot men in uniforms, but you can't touch. So that was painful, but I got through it. What happened is I chatted to this guy online, and almost 2 months later, I found out he was after money. Not very intelligent when I actually told I'm a student with no income. So, I would go after a different target, but okay, we all make different decisions. But I sent him an email afterwards when I confronted him. He came clean. And I had the best almost 2 months of my life, like La La Land. So in love, I felt completely head over heels. And to share that now, when I say I am as a complete sentence, it's not that I'm sharing, I have guts to share. I'm sharing with so much joy because there's something I'm sure someone else that could relate in some way or another. That's the joy here. I'm happy to be that vulnerable, open, and honest about it. And I sent him an email saying, "Listen, I've had the best 2 months, being in communication with you, and I actually thanked him for that. And I said, listen, if you want to share ever anything at all, I'm here. But what led to being this way is, again, acceptance. Things like that is now I'm very emotional as a person. So usually before my studies, what that would do to me, I would be in bed for a month, like in a coma, because it's a heartbreak. And it's not that I froze myself or numb myself to feelings. It was quite the opposite. I looked at what has happened. I had pure joy and fulfillment of that short-lived relationship. I enjoyed this man. It didn't turn out to be the way I would have turned out, but there was fun. So I had a choice to make. I can either look at the past and go, oh, mommy, or I can go and say, I had the best time. And yeah, okay, it didn't work out. And in my email, I did offer, if you want advice on how to do fraud or sharp practice, come back to me. I'm an expert. so instead of actually, crying about it, I'm more than happy to write a book about how to commit fraud or do things that are considered to be sharp practice. All of these things led to having this conversation with you so openly and honestly. I've committed fraud and in London for over a year. That was a great example of me being able to just waking up and saying, right, hold on a second, something is up here. I've become a criminal. Sharp practice playing games with insurance companies and banks. And I just understood this isn't how I want to live my life. Whatever has happened that led me to this choice, you know, as a kid at 15, leaving home and moving from one country to another, I think it's a perfect example of something was up. And what was up is that I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy that life up until that moment. So I thought if I move to, you know, London and center of the universe, things are going to be great. And it was for a few years until it wasn't. See, the chasing again after a fantasy life. And then relationships started. Relationship number one, the smart man ran away from me. I think he's run so fast, he could have qualified for the Olympics, I'm telling you, which is good for him because wonderful, wonderful man. And I would lie to you now if I said that he wasn't. Then relationship number two, then relationship number three. And by relationship number three, in 2018, December, in time for Christmas, my Christmas gift to him was, I'm leaving because I don't want to take you down. I felt that I was rock bottom again, because it's like, you go through life like this all the time. And I thought, this isn't life. And everyone around me, by the way, was saying, Mark, this is life. Especially the Jews, you know how it goes, yeah? It's life. And I'm like, not my life. Life it's my book to write. I'm the author of my life. But everyone around me, including mom and dad, said, this is life. We had the same thing, Mark. So I got that it was generational. And I'm like, aren't I in control of my life, really? So I went on this journey. I left my man, beautiful human being. I left the job. I got sacked from the job. We're going to call it the UK way, made redundant, sacked, yeah. And I've had no cash or anything, and I just started from scratch. So last year, at 34, I declared to myself and everyone in my life that I'm starting life from scratch. So all of these things that everyone would consider the best thing that ever happened to me, all of these fraud, sharp practice, failed relationships, I had my heart stopped at 31. That was my birthday gift to me because of stress, would you believe it? So I caused it myself. And last time we spoke, I was 44 pounds heavier. So see, grabbing it by the sack of balls and really just enjoying life now. And yeah, all of that, no regrets whatsoever. Now I got, when the Hollywood stars say no regrets at 85, I finally got it at 35, really no regrets. Because where I am now, because remember, it's not I was, I will be, it's I am is a complete, it's right now is a complete sentence. So it's welcoming every single future second that comes my way. I welcome it because it's more of what's about to happen. And sometimes I get nervous and sometimes I get excited, but I don't hide from it. Whatever comes my way. I speak to my mom now very honestly, and she's still freaky about it. She's like, what are you doing? But I'm just like, just being me. And she's enjoying it. She's in and out, which is normal. It's generation. I don't know if I answered, but that's it.
I think something I really pull out of your story is, you know, a lot of people who I speak with and a lot of people who will be watching this video at a certain time in their life, they felt like a criminal because of maybe because they were gay, maybe because they felt they had to hide a piece of themselves. And if you tell yourself that you're a criminal every second of every day, if your community tells you you're a criminal every second of every day, then for some people, that becomes the identity that they assume.
Correct.
And as you were telling your story, that's something I was thinking about. Does that ring true for you?
Yeah, 100%. In my first chapter, I wrote, I was a lie. It's not I told a lie, I had become the lie. And every paragraph, which is every area of my life, was a lie, including being gay, including being okay with being Jewish, because culturally, although again, not religious, culturally it was too much for me. Marry this, marry that, and all that crap, not having a choice. But also in other areas, where as a 34-year-old man, I was not making choices that were free it was all past-based. There was no free choice. It's like so afraid to run to the right because if I do, I may hit the wall, so I'm not going to do it. If I run left, I'm afraid because I may hit something else, a car. Can't jump because I'm going to hit my head against the ceiling. There is no freedom in this way of, I can't call it living, it's survival. It's like the safest thing for us is to really build a home that is just four walls. I think it's the safest thing, truly, and stay within the four walls. It's the safest because even if you get a delivery and the food is cold, you're going to get pissed off about that, right? So no deliveries, you guys. Completely shut down within four walls. The best life ever. That's called survival. That's a thing of the past for me. I'm more about welcoming whatever is coming my way because that's life. Look, my dad just had a stroke. And I was like, okay, what do I do? So I started crying. I had like a nervous thing happening, you know, my dad. My brother is mommy's boy, my sister's a daddy's girl, and I'm a daddy's boy. So my connection with my dad is it's just this man is, I learned what love is all about from my dad. He loves me so much. I mean, he still tells me that he loves me, and we're both grown men. So I was like, okay, what do I do? It's going to be, I may arrive in Israel. Can I fly? Can I not? All of these thoughts. I couldn't think straight because of everything coming up. So what I'm sharing is, it's quite awesome to be present when I say I am. So I had to remind myself to get present, stop freaking the hell out, and see what I can create. And what I created is I booked a flight, 20 quid for a one-way ticket from London to Tel Aviv. I mean, come on. I arrived, and then they told me, they misinformed me from London. I had to go into quarantine. I was like, okay, 5-star hotel, I'm going to do that. Again, almost freaked out. And then I was released from the quarantine prison by beautiful soldiers. Yummy. And then I came to my parents and I'm taking care of my dad. And then our program was relaunched at school and it's on Zoom. So everything came into place. And it may not come into place. It may not go my way, like with that guy, right? It didn't go my way. But I looked at the best side of it. And Jared, I'm telling you, there was so much joy. And this is starting life from scratch. I walked. You know how a baby learns, how you teach the baby to walk, right? They go a little bit and they fall, go a little bit and fall, but they don't stop. Otherwise, we would not be walking as adults. So I walked a little bit and then I fell with this guy. Mom called me, said, Dad had it. I walked a little bit and I fell, but I got up. We have a choice to get up. That's the awesome.
I wanted to ask you, Mark, hearing this recent event with you coming to Israel to look after your parents and to be there with your family, it really says to me that you care a lot about your parents. And you were saying that you've recently worked on repairing that relationship, which implies that there was some challenge in the past. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about maybe if you remember when you came out to your parents when you were, I think you would have been 5 or 6 if I did the maths right.
Came out to my, no. I came out when I was 22. Where did you get the 5? Something
came out
is
when 22.
Yeah. A little bit. I was gay to come out to my parents when I was 5.
I thought you said 30 years ago, and I was like, you're 36 now. Okay. So if were in your 20s, can you take us all the way back to that moment? And if you feel comfortable sharing a little bit about that story, because your parents are obviously a huge, important part of your life. So I think it would be valuable for our listeners to enter into that space.
Sure. So that was the first step of, it was easy to live in London and they were all the way in Moscow, so I didn't have to come out. But that was the first thing where I thought, I'm 22, I'm just starting my adult life. Everything is already a mess in some areas of my life. And I flew home and I came out to my sister and my mom first. And that was probably the first step to freedom for myself, you know. There was a conversation about, Mom, you know, I said I'm bisexual because we all come out with bisexuality because, you know, bi for now, gay for later, right? So that was very much present for me. And that was the first thing. But I already knew I was gay. But anyway, that's what we do, some of us. And I freed myself. That was the experience. Coming out for me was first step to freedom, because I really didn't have to do it. Life was really easy in London. I was long way away from home. And I just didn't enjoy living in that four-wall space that I mentioned earlier, you know, because it's a lie. It's lying to myself. When we lie to others, we lie to ourselves first of all. And I couldn't bear that, because that wasn't, I don't believe in such thing as identity anymore. But I can tell you, it's part of who I am. I don't question how gay homosexuality works or sexual orientation. I stopped questioning it because I just accepted that I am. And it was first step to freedom. I came out to my dad and my brother in 2016 when my second man ran away from me. Again, good for him. And I called and I said, Dad, I am. And the reaction was all four family members reacted. At first, we love you. Then they needed some time. They said that why are you doing this to us? But at the same time, that never stopped the relationship from happening. Yeah, it just wasn't understood or talked about in the family. So my brother and my sister, their straight relationships were always part of the conversation, the dining table, and I hated that mine wasn't. But do you know what I discovered since last May? The only person who was struggling with not having this conversation at the dining table was myself. There is no one to blame for it. Not even myself to blame for it. I just wasn't comfortable. Now it's the first thing I talk about at the table, not to piss anyone off. I just don't see it as anything different to a relationship with my brother and my sister, because it's just a relationship. The first person that makes it mean something being gay is me. And I admit it, wholeheartedly admit that I was the one putting that tag on and making a big deal out of it, coming out. I can't wait to have kids. And if they come to me, I just want to raise them without the need to come out. What does that mean? Does a lion or a tiger need to come out? Does a straight guy need to come out? No, nothing. It's just, it happens. So this is what it's all about for me. It was to come out and free myself, because I was the one who imprisoned myself. That's how I got that now. Now, it's just talk about it. I spoke about it with my cousin, about my ex who's a man. And it wasn't even freeing anymore. It was just a conversation. Who cares? We ourselves make it mean something. But hey, it took me a long time to actually even see it that way. That was the magical discovery, that I make it mean something. The top, the bottom, the versatile, the this, the that, the top versatile, the bottom versatile, all of that crap, but I make it mean something. It's all me. I do. So I don't know if I took you back to me coming out, but it was to free myself. Now I just, what's that? What does that even mean? Free myself from what? It's just we're not raised like that. We're raised to be a certain way, and I talk with my parents now very openly. Just that my dad is in and out with his stroke, brain-wise, so he's not present a lot. But with my mom, the conversations are really awesome now. I spoke to this guy yesterday, and I shared that with you last night. It's pretty profound to just not be afraid to talk about it, because I'm the one who needs to say it. So I have to say, I don't expect mom to say anything, but when I do, and I do it vulnerably, she's in. This is the only way to communicate vulnerably. If you're gonna get attached to your mom or dad, or you're gonna get pissed off, pardon my French, for them not to accept it, yeah, I would invite anyone to look at them accepting themselves first, because then there is no one else that can trigger anything. Now, the freedom lies in not being triggered by anything that one would consider homophobic, because I just don't hear it anymore. Yeah, everyone is entitled to an opinion. It's just an opinion. I genuinely, Jared, love not being triggered to what would be considered as homophobic, because I don't see it anymore. I just see a person having an opinion, and you know what? They're entitled to it. Just doesn't do anything to me. That's the power of being, having the I am as a complete sentence. Again, I got carried away. I apologize. You asked me for something specific, and I tried to take you there, but there's nothing. I really struggle to take you in the past, because it doesn't. There's no. This is what I did. I came out. I pulled the bi game, the bi card. I'm the bisexual one, and went back to London to be gay. That's all that happened. It was, of course, mom sometimes says, yeah, I want you to be with a good girl. And I remind her that it doesn't work. It's not who I am. I just have to remind her, because she's 68, she's 69 in a few months. It's okay. When she was my age, this wasn't spoken about. I genuinely don't get triggered by it. I love it. I love that I just have to remind her, of who I am, and that's it. That's it. This is your turn.
Well, thank you for taking us on that trip.
Sure.
For what you said, a lot of people will identify with your thoughts and with your memories of that time, and it seems to me that there are moments in your past that you don't waste your brain space with, because there's so much light and there's so much positivity that the world has to offer. So why spend any brain space in those traumatic times? That's what I'm getting from your story, both in terms of your gayness and your Jewishness.
Listen, I spent a lot of time, 3 months roughly, on researching whether the past does exist. And the answer is very short. No, the past does not exist. It cannot exist. It already happened. So why waste time on that? I will quickly take you on a very short journey. When I was 6 years old, I think I was 6, between 5 and 6, and I was walking in Moscow. I don't remember where I was going. And this man stopped me and asked me if I have seen his dog. And I ended up being in his building on the floor, not in his apartment, where he was inappropriately touching me. And it came to me last October, after about 6 or 7 months of studying, that at that moment I made it mean that I'm gay because I was inappropriately touched by a man. I want to bring it up because it's a big thing. And I mean, what a load of bull crap. I remember feeling something, not knowing it was a feeling, at 4 or 5 in a kindergarten still, towards boys, which is way before that incident happened. And I put it on a shelf very far, like quite far off. And I forgot about it until suddenly at school, in the classroom, it came to me, oh my God, that happened to me. I numbed myself to that experience for, 29 years? 28, 29 years? And my brain just made it mean, okay, you're this way because of that. Well, that's bullcrap, because if I'm going to live my life on everything that happened in the past, that's not life, because all you do is spend time in there thinking about it, and it allows you to worry about the future. I'm concentrating on right now. And because the past doesn't exist. It already happened. It cannot exist. In there it does, but we don't realize what, because there's no education about this. I'm in a program that is a personal and professional development, and it's not psychological. It's philosophical. So I enjoy discovering the right now. I do not enjoy thinking about the past. I was just in the shower getting ready for this, and that guy that I shared from 2 months crossed my mind, and I just smiled. I thought, okay, I remember that hottie who was, I had fun with. That's it. It's what's the point? It's not going to change it. I promise everyone. Thinking about the past is not going to change the past unless you have Dr. Brown with a DeLorean and he's going to come over to put that in a DeLorean, take you to the past. You're going to change it all up and then come back to the present. Yeah, wake up doesn't happen. I'm a living proof of that. I tried. So yeah, not wasting a second. And when I do, I literally have a conversation. I have a lot of material that I brought with me. I have a very small suitcase and it's mostly my schoolwork. And I just remind myself what the present is all about, the power of being in the present, and I just light up. It's unbelievable how powerful it is to just be in the moment and enjoy it, not be attached to all these, to life happening. That experience at 6 was life happening. And did you hear? I didn't once call that man anything bad because I don't know what was going through his head. I mean, I can't even call it abnormal. He did what he did, and I, for so long, I can't even say I made it mean something. I did in that moment as a kid, because you can't understand everything, right? At that age, something happens and you don't understand. You just you tag it. See, tagging again. I tagged it as something. And as I was growing up, I made it mean something, and that's it. And in my adult life, I can tell you, I admitted, when I say I discovered, I admitted I have serious intimacy issues being with other men until I accepted myself as I am. I was like a brick in bed, which sucks because I've been with a lot of hotties. So you can't really enjoy it because you just, I can even admit I don't even think I've had an orgasm by the age of 35. So I'm really looking forward to one. So as soon as we get over with this, I'm going to go and have a good time. I'm joking, but I'm a good Jewish boy. But this caused for all of my adult life no intimacy in bed, which is all about an intimate connection, and I've missed out, but not anymore. We have this exercise where we just literally stare at each other, strangers from different cultures and skin colors and religions and stuff. And I've just fallen in love with people. It allows me to really be and connect with others, be in a moment. So the tagging is a dangerous thing. It really is program-based living. It's like being an autopilot. That's it. I know you probably want to ask me something. I can see.
I'm just listening to your story, and what really speaks to me is, trauma is something that is a common thread throughout the LGBTIQ plus community, whether we see ourselves as less than, so we put ourselves into negative situations because we think that's what we deserve, whether it comes from external forces because we're confused with our identity, or the outside forces look at us in a certain way. And it is a common story, and it is something that a lot of us live with, and we deal with, and we face. So I think hearing your story and hearing how you have overcome, or how you have learned to live with everything that has happened in your life, I think that's something truly powerful and truly inspiring. And I know that anybody who watches this video, and I can say for myself, there's some real amazing life lessons that you've spoken about on your gay journey, on your Jewish journey, that can really have an impact for people. So thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it. See, I told you I'm a talk machine.
I just wanted to ask, as we close off our time together, so we've spent almost an hour together talking about your life and what you've learned, what you've gained, the path that you've taken to be where you are today. I was just wondering if you had any final thoughts that you'd like to share before we head off.
Yeah, the most important is the self, myself, the I. I discovered that, and I want to say, and end our conversation with that taking care of myself first and foremost, and not past-based, but actually in the right now, the I am, is genuinely the most important. So being kind to myself, generous to myself, and just really enjoy it. I enjoy it. I mean, I really enjoy being with myself now. And yeah, I think this is the most important. Being comfortable in my own skin. Oh, I love my skin now. I don't even need any products for it. Look at it. I'm glowing. So that's it. It doesn't come from any products. It doesn't come from any therapy or anything. Not that I'm saying it's wrong. I'm just saying all comes from acceptance of oneself. That's the power. It's stunning. It really is true life, because you really get to decide how to live it. It's the I am. It's awesome. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that.
I am.
Yeah,
I think that's a sentence I'll be saying a lot more of. I am.
I'm going to trademark it, so I'm going to be a very rich man if you keep using it, because I'll keep charging it.
How much do I owe you now? Have you used it about 5 times?
I haven't done it yet, but I'll.
We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll make a business deal afterwards.
Yeah.
So, Mark, I just want to thank you again for spending this time with me and with us at Pride in the Living Room with Jewmos. And here's to sharing our story today and many more times in the future.
Thank you for doing this, by the way. This is awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay.
להתראות.
Bye.